The torn white fabric fluttered like a broken wing as the woman stumbled along the sunlit highway, dust clinging to her bare arms and fear etched across her face. And the single father driving past felt his heart tighten because he knew that look of running from something too big to survive. It was late morning, the sky wide and blue, the kind of day that usually promised hope, yet this moment felt heavy with fate, as if one small act could change many lives forever. Before the story pulls you deeper, take a second to support the channel. If you believe in kindness, second chances, and stories that remind us what it means to be human, please like, comment, share, and subscribe to Life Spark Stories. Your support keeps these heartfelt stories alive. Rafik Noor was a widowed single father in his mid-30s, driving an aging sedan with his 6-year-old son asleep in the back seat after a doctor visit. Life had stripped him down to responsibilities and quiet endurance. Every day was a careful balance of earning just enough, being present enough, and hiding the loneliness that crept in during long daylight drives. When he saw the woman on the roadside, her elegant dress ripped and dirt-stained, her hair undone by panic, he almost kept driving, not out of cruelty but out of fear of complications. Then he remembered how strangers once helped him when grief made him invisible, and his foot eased off the accelerator. The woman collapsed into the passenger seat with shaking hands, clutching the torn remains of what was clearly a wedding dress meant for a grand ceremony. Her name was Samara Valin, though Rafik would only learn that later. For now, he only sensed that she was running from a life that glittered on the outside and suffocated within. The car rolled forward through the bright afternoon, fields passing by like witnesses, while Samara stared out the window as if the world might chase her back. Samara had grown up surrounded by luxury but starved of choice. She was the runaway bride of billionaire industrialist Kave Valin, a man whose empire controlled cities and headlines, a man whose love was more about ownership than partnership. That morning, sunlight had streamed through marble halls as guests gathered, cameras ready, contracts already signed in invisible ink. When she realized that her future had been decided without her soul's consent, something inside her broke free. She ran, not knowing where the road would take her, only knowing she could not stay. Rafik sensed danger without knowing details. He stopped at a small roadside cafe under the noon sun, bought water, and let Samara breathe. He noticed how gently she looked at his sleeping son, how her eyes softened with longing and grief. It struck him that wealth could not buy the peace she was craving, and poverty had not stolen the quiet dignity he carried. They were two broken stories intersecting in daylight. The threat came quickly, as black SUVs appeared in the distance, slicing through heat, shimmer, and dust. Rafik's heart pounded, but he chose the back roads he once drove for deliveries, narrow lanes framed by trees and sunlight filtering like forgiveness. He risked everything, not because he was brave, but because kindness demanded courage. In that chase through ordinary landscapes, Samara realized that freedom did not feel glamorous. It felt terrifying, uncertain, and real. By early afternoon, Rafik left her at a modest bus station, a place so normal it felt sacred. He gave her something more valuable than money, the belief that she could build a life defined by her own voice. Samara stepped away no longer as a bride fleeing a billionaire, but as a woman reclaiming her name. Days later, news broke quietly. The wedding was canceled, the headlines spun stories, but the truth stayed hidden. Weeks passed, and a letter arrived at Rafik's small home, not with riches but with gratitude. Samara had started anew, using her resources to fund shelters for women who had nowhere to run. Rafik did not become rich, but something richer happened. His son grew up watching his father choose compassion in daylight, learning that heroes do not wear crowns or suits. If this story is touching your heart right now, please take a moment to engage with this video. Your likes, shares, and subscriptions help Life Spark Stories reach others who need a reminder that kindness still exists. Before the ending, a special request for you. Please comment the word kindness below if you believe one small act can change a destiny.